Let's talk about the new cards real quick. This is one of the priorities for today, because I don't know how long I am going to last. I'm glad you're enjoying the ASMR Gwent Agribrion. This is now an ASMR card review. This card is pretty awesome, and I really wanted to talk about it. So here we go. Purge Crime. It's a 5 provision score syndicate special. Damage on any unit by 3. Increase your damage by 1 for every witch hunter on your side of the field. Deathblow, place a bounty on the highest power enemy unit. Really good. Really good. I really like the design of this card. Numbers can be played with, but let's start breaking down why it's good. Number 1, it encourages you to play witch hunters. So if we pop over to Gwent real fast. So these are the witch hunters. And they're adding more. Probably, I've only seen 2 cards so far, and the other card we're going to talk about today is a witch hunter. But it rewards you for playing, and you only need 2 witch hunters to do well. And here's the good news about a lot of these witch hunters. Noting Kurt, Tamara, Morales, Graydon. Basically, these are the deploy ones. They're going to stick around no matter what, because there's no value in killing them unless you need the points here. Gotta get some hot tea, so I can keep talking, guys. But other ones like Vigilantes, I mean, Fabian's also in that category of deploy, but has Intimidate. It does have it. This is technically an engine, but Vigilantes will often die, Execution will die, Scoundrel will die, Hunter will die, or Finder will die, Caleb will die. A lot of these will also die because they want to stay on the board. I think keeping 2 witch hunters on the board, or having the witch hunters be the lowest priority threat, is not a particularly hard thing to pull off, which makes me really excited about the card. I think the way I view it often is keep reading as 5 for 5. Deathblow, put a bounty on a unit. That's a really strong ability. Because bounty on a unit says if you basically another way to read bounty, as long as you have a unit to spend into, is if a unit has a bounty and you have enough coins, just kill that unit. And then that's it, right? It's just like you get your coins right back. In many, obviously it's circumstantial and such. I really like this card. It also heavily encourages more witch hunters. Now, we're starting to see payoffs for actually running witch hunters. That's really good, right? It's not just put bounty in the damage, crown splitter, deck, etc., etc. Here's your payoff if you start tilting your deck more and more heavily towards witch hunters. It's also damage, which is really cool because there are a point when you look at the meta, and you say, look, I need, for Dunka, plus a tactical advantage, I need 10 damage. So that's probably out of reach. But you might say, you know what isn't out of reach? Getting a couple witch hunters down and preventing something like a sorceress of Crystal Skull. And again, trying to get 5 witch hunters by going all in on it. Something like that. Basically, you get a high reward for the amount of witch hunters you run, and you can try to tailor the amount of witch hunters you want out relative to the meta. If meta's not removal heavy, you might be able to count on how many witch hunters you'll have out each time. This is a good step in the direction for Gwent. It is strong, though. Assuming the witch hunters and all their friends survive this patch. If we go back to here, I don't think anything really deserves a nerf. But we saw the last time we saw the monster nerfs, they were CDPR, and I think they realized they went too far, so I'm a little optimistic. This is before the patch is announced, but Kikamore probably did not need the armor coming off. Going down to 3 makes it relic monsters even more vulnerable against something like, that's dark. Look at the guy's head. Something even more vulnerable against tunnel drill and such. I think they'll be a little bit later on Syndicate when they do the nerfs, but nerfs are coming. I'm hoping. I don't think witch hunters will get caught up in it. But if the witch hunters do get caught up in it, like it kind of is what it is. I am, though, optimistic that they want witch hunters to play. Why? Well, when you release new cards, you do typically want them to play. You don't want to release new stuff that people ignore and never play. If they're like, oh, the old toys are better. Not good. So, and the fact that they put Witch Hunter support and then another Witch Hunter, the Brute, the first ever 13 provision Syndicate card. Take a look here. We got the Brute Witch Hunter, profit 0, deploy, boost self by 0, for a 6 for 13. Boost is equal to the base power of the last unit destroyed unit of bounty. That's pretty awesome. And then a key thing here is base power, so boosted stuff obviously is not counting, so I can't do any grade in shenanigans. And then whenever you place a bounty on an enemy unit, increase this profit by 1. Ooh, that's really good. It's good design. So I think this probably is Ignatius, right? Like if we go to here, we go to deck builder, the Scoundrel is Fabian Hale. These are the two, same dude. I believe that's the case. You see, that twos might be a little different. So my understanding was, let's see, the Hales must be in town. Yeah, I think the Scoundrel is Fabian. I think the Brute is in fact Igneous. Look to the right and you'll see the doggies. Oh, on the Brutes card. Oh yeah. You can see the dogs there, and then if you go to deck building, you can see the dogs here. Yeah, I really like this. So why do I like this? Because it basically says, look, the more bounties you play, the better it gets. But it does not have the vibe problem of being significantly better every time, right? Where you're not going from like 7 points to 10 points to 13 to 16, not this huge spike up, but rather just a little more profit. You want to fit in another bounty, a little more profit. Well, Witchfinder's great. Great, get more of the Havia Hail giving out more buffs. Let's go ahead and get more bounties. Scoundrel, get all this, like you're heavily encouraged to play it, but you're not forced to. You have good payoffs, like bounty plus Witch Hunters makes a lot of sense. And you get some really neat damage abilities. Hysteria is really strong. The new card was it Purge, is I think what it's called. Purge. Yeah, Purge. So Purge is really strong. Like now, for the first time, Octavia Hale probably is the epic John though. I think it's a good read here, judging by how the set worked out. But like this is a huge deal. I think this is what like this needs. Now I'm hoping if I'm gonna make a wish, make blood money bounty related, or just maybe it's okay as it is. Maybe it turns out you just buff it a provision, but start linking these leader abilities more closely aligned with stuff. Line Pockets is already linked really heavily with crimes. It's still just a coin one. I would say link things further, etc., etc. Or maybe just get rid of the order and make it 2 coins, something like that. I want people to really feel more investing. Right now, yes, the obvious choice, I think you're right, John Doe, is there's a lot of tribute abilities, so you go off the books. But I don't really like that tribute syndicate, or that tribute feel for them. Like, if I go back, like, not tribute, one tribute, but tribute's meh. Tribute's okay, too. This tribute's good. 3, 4, but the idea is use bounty to get rid of it anyways. You have, that's really about it. I mean, yeah, I would like them to have their own thing. I think blood money may hopefully be their thing, because the idea of putting down a bounty on something big or just killing it to immediately set up a huge finisher like the Brute, like get a bounty on, not Egern, but some tall unit, and then smack it down with blood money to enable the Brute to be extra big. I don't think I'm the right size relative to the other screen, I'm noticing, but whatever. Get that out to the stream. Tamara, yeah, but Tamara sucks. Right, Louis? Like, Tamara needs some serious love beyond. Any tribute needs to fall down. We'll see. Hopefully, though. I like the direction of this. Witch hunters are finally getting payoffs, and bounties are getting payoffs, or having more of them in your deck. Unlike, and hopefully that helps break out the witch hunters. And so it's more similar to that Firesworn feel. You're getting the payoffs for going hard on bounties. You're getting the payoffs for going hard on just like a faction, like a witch hunter level. Like, not faction, but a archetype. Witch hunters. We're going to need witch hunters, just like Firesworn's having their payoffs. I would love for the next 2 reveals, they're actually coming out later today, to be related to witch hunters, bounties especially, particularly witch hunters. I would love to see Tamara get boosted the next patch and be stronger, because she's a good card that rewards you for deck thinning and finding her quickly in round 1, but also rewards you very heavily for running a lot of witch hunters. I really like the direction this is all going. I'm really excited to see what's ahead. Is the Brute going to push witch hunters by itself? Unlikely. Purge is more likely to do that. This card is much better, but this is not a bad card either. It really depends on the next bounce patch where CDPR is nerfing the bounties and witch hunters, or if they're buffing them, or if they're not touching them at all. Depends on what they're going to do to the leader abilities for Syndicate, and depends on what the other 2 Syndicate cards are to be revealed, what the payoffs or witch hunters are, what the payoffs or bounties are. I like the direction though. I think they're hard to evaluate right now because they're both linked so heavily to a subset of Syndicate, and Syndicate's having design issues. They're not being able to break out archetypes. I think it's foolish to really evaluate them as a result. The Purge has, I would say, the one thing I would say is the Purge on paper looks very easy, very, very good, because you only need 2 Witch Hunters. So if Syndicate isn't fixed, there's not enough payoffs to really break it out. You still get into that annoying best spender versus best spender versus best coin generator issue, which Syndicate has been plagued by for 9 months now. You just same thing over and over again. The Purge could still probably be run because there's enough okay Witch Hunters that you could just slot in the Scoundrel, Witchfinder, and probably in a Kurt into a deck, and so get a 4 to deal a card that says deal 4 or 5 damage. Place a bounty, which is gonna be fine. Large sofa recliner. Large sofa recliner at the sub, my friend. I'm super grateful for that. Thank you so much. I think it's a resub too. It's 2 months now, my friend. You extended it. Thank you very, very much. And Ruxadote, welcome to the Plain Talk fam. I'm glad you're joining us here today as we're gonna hunt witch hunters. That's right. We are starting our own cult that believes that witch hunters are what needs to be burned at the stake. And we're gonna burn witch hunters and try to save the witches. It's gonna be great. Welcome aboard. And check out the socials. Welcome, welcome. Going back to the spoilers, I am excited to see what's ahead. It's gonna be great. And we're gonna just keep chugging forward. And I'm looking forward to see if Syndicate will, in fact, have archetypes that is not just Salamander, Firesworn, and best spender, best coin generator. These are the types of cards Syndicate needs to actually be what I consider a well-designed faction. More payoffs and that are interesting, that says, look, if you go for bounty, here's more payoff you get. If you go for witch hunters, here's your bonus payoff. Love it. Really, really optimistic about the remaining 2 cards and can't wait to see what's ahead later today. Love all of you and take care. Shout out to McRandar, Ahmed Ali, and Pseudonym81 for their generous support on Patreon. I really appreciate it.